Hi, my name is Simone and I'm a Zen Mommy. I help people with spiritual awakening and navigating your ascension. And I just wanted to do a quick little video. Um, I haven't done a video in a few weeks. I know, you know, I've been kind of blocked and my energy's been kind of out of whack. And and I lost my book that I was reading and my Zen deck. So I don't know if that means that I need to try to do regular topics again like I used to. But that's, I guess, why I was feeling kind of blocked. And so I thought I would just, chat. um, well, since the last time I did a video, the world has changed significantly. And I'm sure that probably contributed to, you know, energies being off whack, my energy being off whack, maybe others. It's just, it's so crazy. Um, like for the first time, like I can really see that we're in a multiverse and we're, this reality is a convergence of many universes and we are all co-creators. This reality is a co-creation. The fact that I can do a video and you can watch me, you're in your own reality and universe and I'm in my own reality and universe, but together we're co-creating this experience where I'm doing this video and you can watch me. So the same thing happens with this reality. um, we we co-create, and when we match the vibration of an experience, we kind of align with the timeline of what's going on. So now think about, me and you were co-creating this video experience where you're listening, I'm talking or whatnot. So imagine the world that we're in right now, how we're co-creating that. Take the just every I just never in my life been so affected by everybody else. And this is, and I'm sure if you're an empath you understand what I'm talking about as far as dealing with some of the chaos and the energies around. So we are now co-creating this universe that this event is going on, that everyone is affected by. And within this event, and I'm sure you guys, I'm sure you guys, everybody who's watching this knows what's going on with this event is. And with this event, everybody has their theories, or conspiracies on on how this event came to be. And the theories and conspiracies are so far off. I mean, so not far off. They all make sense. And you know what? I've been trying to avoid to say this word because I started a video talking about this already, and then I just been getting kind of overwhelmed with this energy that I didn't want to say the word, but I am. I'm just gonna say it. The world is in a pandemic. There is a virus going around that has put fear in a lot of people. And a lot of people are speaking up, for the first time. Like, you cannot go anywhere without hearing about this. You can't be on social media without hearing about this. There's memes, there's debates, there's arguments, there's all of the reasons how this started. Did the government do it? Did did eating animals do it? Did 5G do it? Did the planet do it? Did Gaia do this? Did she? And so there's all of these creations. And so we talked about it on my channel before about belief systems. A belief system is something that you've thought long enough that it becomes a strong belief for you. And because, as I talked to you guys on my channel before about creator gods and law of attraction, I'm going to tell you, everything we're going through right now is kind of like what my channel's been preparing for, okay? So as creator gods, law of attraction, and belief systems, right? Somebody says, oh, this virus came from eating bats, right? And then a whole mass of people are believing that so much that they're getting angry at these people, right? Well, they have created a belief system, their creator God. So now they have put themselves on a timeline where the coronavirus came from bats. Then there's the people that say, well, you know what? The U.S. got a patent for that. We think that that was planned. We think that that was biological warfare or whatnot. Well, what happens is a mass of people heard that theory, and a mass of people that are somewhat conscious and don't trust the government. They're like, yeah, that's got to be it. This is not random, you know. And then there's that whole group that truly believes in that belief system. They thought about it long enough. They heard it long enough from different people that now is becoming a collective belief that is also creating another timeline. That is very true for them in that timeline. So then there's there is the 5G, the radiation frequencies that the people are passing out, and that the frequencies are affecting us on a cellular level, and it is actually causing radiation sickness symptoms. So you got that group of people who was like, no, I don't think it's by animals, and I don't think that it was planted. I definitely think it has something to do with that wireless technology. Okay? Enough people believe that. They understand what it means, what that means, what that 5G means, and they're like, nope, this is definitely it. So that group of people have created another timeline. Okay? And then there's the people who mostly conscious, spiritual too, that thinks that, you know, the planet is doing this. We've been, you know, abusing the planet for too long, killing the rainforest, littering and just damaging it. Maybe the planet, who is conscious, who is on a path of ascension just like us, maybe Gaia, maybe she did this, maybe she, and these group of people, they believe like, yeah, this is definitely Gaia, you know, and that is also a belief system. So I started to see people argue. The memes, I'm getting so fed up of the memes, the posts, everybody becoming an individual news reporter on social media and Facebook. And then they get in there and then they start arguing tooth and nail. And at first, I took a certain side about it. Okay, so I first took a side. The first thing I heard was it was from animals, right? I automatically thought that, you know, it was something that the government did at first. I was thinking that. And when I started to see the argument, I saw that, you know what, the fool stands and fight. The sage walks away. I started to see it doesn't matter if you're right, if you guys are getting nasty arguing with each other. It really doesn't matter. And then I heard the theory, you know, about Gaia, which also came as a download to me, and of, you know, what's going on. And, you know, I'm resonating definitely with that more. But my point is, I decided not to marry any of those ideals. You know, I also decided that, you know, we're co-creating a universe. And as long as you align with those beliefs, if you're listening to it, if you're repeating it, if you're arguing it down, you will end up on a timeline where that's true, you know. And I started to feel like everybody's voice that's speaking out against this thing, I'm starting to see multiple creations, multiple timelines, multiple possible ways that this thing could turn out, you know. I've always had I had a thing. I think maybe one of my psychic abilities is I see timelines. I see when I meet a person, I see timelines of maybe our friendships or our life, or I'll see timelines of my life. I see a lot of timelines about decisions I make. I see where, if I make this certain decision, I can see the timeline where it's going to go ahead of time, which is kind of good because a lot of times I'll be like, ooh, I don't want to do that. But then sometimes it kind of drives me crazy seeing all of that stuff. And so seeing these timelines and seeing all of these people with these ideals, I had to chalk it to we're in the multiverse, and I can't. I have to spend a great deal with detaching from everybody's theory, because here's the thing: law of attraction. We manifest our reality. It's an inside job. There's nothing that we can tell anybody else. There's no argument that can make it better. This is an inside job. Your environment around you, your reality is affected by what's within you. You manifest it from inside. And when I started to see that, I started to disconnect more from social media. I was like, I can't do this. I don't want to be worried about certain things happen. I had to disconnect. You see, when you're on a spiritual journey, one thing you got to get used to is uncertainty. And uncertainty is very hard to get used to. You never know where the path is going to take you. We certainly didn't know we were going to be here right now. And one thing that's happening for sure, that the planet is shifting. There is definitely a shift, and the shift is going to be so profound that it's going to make a big change, I see. But in order to stay like calm and cool and collective through this event, I had to just disconnect. I had to stop listening to people's theories, stop getting emotionally involved, because the reality that we have is one that we create. And so I had to really start thinking about going within now, and actively, consciously begin to create the reality that I desire, you know? And it's tough disconnecting because the energy is so tense. For the first time, everybody is not only speaking out, they're thinking out, their energy is on edge. And, if you're an empath, you can pick up on those frequencies so easily. I went to Home Depot the other day, and I was surprised by how many people was in Home Depot this past weekend. I had to get some stuff from my garden, and I came back completely overloaded, because what happens is our aura, which is all around us, is affected when we pass by people, and we can pick up their energy. So I've been burning a lot of sage, a lot of Palo Santo. I make the sage spray, Palo Santo spray, and I've been trying to just keep that going. And I've been really working on grounding, because another thing that happens is we get real ungrounded when we feel unstable and uncertain sometimes. And that's the one thing that's really been helping me, is grounding and disconnecting, to kind of get through that. And the world is changing, but one thing I learned on this journey is you got to embrace change, because we are ever evolving and ever moving. And if you don't embrace change, you can be stuck in an old pattern. You can be stuck on a wrong timeline, one that you probably didn't really want to go on. And so, with all that going on, you know, um, it's been tough for a lot of people. But I'm not gonna lie. I've been okay. I've been like good, because for me nothing has changed. Um, Dorian has a non-essential job, so he's had to go, and I'm still home every day. And because during the winter we were pretty much homebodies anyway, because I don't really like the cold that much. And so I really just feel like nothing really changed for me. The only thing I really notice is, when I go to the store, everything's sold out, or the social media, which I just had to cut off. I just don't understand why everybody wants to become a news reporter and just repost and repost and repost. That information I can just see for the common unconscious person seeing all that stuff, that's going to take their mind every which way, and then they begin to create. This is what I mean by we're co-creating a universe. If we're listening to these posts, if we're being affected, remember the last video I did, um, censoring the windows to your soul, the windows to your senses, watching what you are receiving, what you're picking up by the windows. And we were talking about television. The title of that was How Television Affects Ascension, right? Well, right after that, this whole thing happened. And a lot of it is about censoring the windows to our senses, watching that. Because even reading the posts on Facebook, even reading the news, even reading this is our senses. And if we're picking up on all of this energy, then we begin to subconsciously create a reality that matches everybody else's fear. And so the main thing what I do know about what's going on is targeting the fear base. And there's the there's going to be a major shift because of this. And as long as you're scared and then you're in fear, then you're at risk of creating that, just like with law of attraction, right? When you say you want something, say, I want a relationship, right? But then you're scared you might not get it. So you have a hard time finding somebody. It's hard. You like a specific person, but you like them so much and you don't think you're going to get them. And then he's not even interested because of your thoughts. And that's the same thing like with this reality. Oh, I'm scared. I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get sick. The next thing you know, and you manifest that. Like I said, this is everything we talked about. Law of attraction. We're creator gods. And now we're creator gods in the same reality. We're co-creating in the same reality. And so I look at it this way: be careful of what you're creating. You know, you have to be able to look at what's going on outside the window and look at it as this does not have to be me. It doesn't have to be my reality. You can go on and continue to create that peace within. It's an inside job. To sit here and think we can fight and make the world better is idiotic because um, because we can't fight and make it better. It's an inside job. You know, you could try to do all these things to make the world a better place, right? But wouldn't it be better if you started from a better place by going within and creating the place that you want, matching the vibration to the reality that you want? It's totally possible. And one thing we can't forget who we are in this reality. And a situation like this that's striking so much fear in people and people worried about all of the death that's going on, you got to look at it this way. You know, my friend, one of my really conscious psychic friends, spiritual, she, had a near-death experience and came back with a lot of detail and a lot of knowledge. And she said something to me. She said, okay, so I lost my train of thought. And so I'm thinking, maybe I wasn't supposed to say what I was supposed to say. And so I'm going to get off of that particular subject unless it comes back to me for whatever reason. But, I tried to do a video about this and I don't know. I got interrupted during the video and then I kind of got blocked after that. But I guess I just wanted to kind of share with what I was dealing with and going through with this situation at hand is, I'm trying to stay grounded and remember I'm still in control of creating my reality. And oh, the thing that she said, I remember now. It was about people dying. She was saying, like, towards in the last days and whatnot, that a lot of souls were making agreements to leave out of this experience. So you got to look at it from the perspective of a higher self. Higher self, we agreed to come into this experience, this 3D Earth experience. And we also, our higher self is also in control of when we exit this experience. And it's planned out ahead of time. And so, you looking at it, it's all about perception. If you use your perception to look at it as a negative thing, then you're aligning with negative things. But look at it as a positive thing. Look at it as, you know what? That's amazing. They're transitioning. They're going to their next experience and whatever they want to do. And that's really how it is. And it's better to really be positive and try to raise your vibration, try to be in a higher vibration around, these uncertain times, and know that, everything's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. And even this whole thing, I don't know exactly how things are going to turn out, but what I do know, that the biggest shift in history is about to happen. And this shift is going to be a split from the real fear-based, low vibrational people are going to, in a higher vibration, there are higher frequencies available on the planet that just can't coexist with some of the dense vibrations. So there's going to be a massive shift. And I will have to go into that more, because I don't think that I can't really do it justice without going into detail about how timelines work and how our consciousness choose timelines. Because we're also co-creating a universe, but see, just because we are co-creating and with each other, it doesn't mean the other person is on your timeline. So let's just say you're watching my video and I'm talking. So right now we're co-creating a universe and we're on the same timeline. But your consciousness, I could be here. Okay, so I could be here for your timeline. And it's kind of like an NPC, but my consciousness really could be on another timeline. Because every time you go to a different timeline, the collective goes with you. But every person we're each creating our own individual universe. So my universe includes all of you, and your inner universe includes all of everyone in your universe. And when we come together, that's when we're co-creating to watch this video. But your universe is different than mine, and that's the same with everybody you relate to. You could have, somebody in your life that might be like toxic or bad for you and stuff, bad to be around you, or they could just seem like, they don't really care. But you have to understand, that is the person, that individual you're manifesting in your reality, on your timeline. That actual individual consciousness, they have many timelines they can choose too. And so they could choose a whole different timeline where they're not a toxic person. Their true consciousness could be there. But on your creation, you're creating like a bunch of non-NPC characters, like the video games. And I talked to this before, when I played World of Warcraft, it was a video game and it was a role-playing game where each individual played a game and we were actively role-playing with each other. But the computer played certain characters, like the innkeeper, or the auction house guy, or the bank guy, or the person who sold the baked goods, or the fisherman. These were played by the computer. These were NPC characters. They were there to help our experience for the game. It's the same way of how we're manifesting our reality right now. We're co-creating, but you can shift to a time. You can make a decision. Let's just say you have 3 decisions laid out. Each decision takes you to a different timeline, right? These people exist on all those timelines because a collective is created for you. It's your universe. Like, that's how you really have to understand it. This is your universe. and you can pretty much manifest it however you want. And it takes, and it's an inside job. You go within. It takes consciousness, and a lot of times you're like, oh, how could I be manifest? You have to really take responsibility. Like when I see what's going on in the world, sometimes I'm like, how did I manifest this timeline? How did I do it, right? But I also know that there's things not only working in me, there's things in the back end working in my subconscious that had aligned me to a timeline like this. But being privy and conscious to that information, I know I can shift at any time. I know that I don't have to believe the worst is coming, you know, and I can just focus on the positive. So the main thing is if you can stay happy or positive as much as possible, it'll align you to a positive vibration. Then you'll attract a positive timeline with positive NPC characters. The whole collective shifts with you. And so, anyways, I'm talking a lot, and I will be back with more videos. Thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.